Hi, welcome to Sahara TV, and we're right here at the Wild Cafe Theater, and we're with the Kandake Dance Theater for Social Change. And they're going to introduce themselves. You are?
I'm Sapphire, the co-executive director.
Mm-hmm.
Olga, I'm the founder and artistic director.
Okay,
I'm Dan. I'm a Kandake dancer.
cool.
I'm Lasha, the co-executive director.
Okay. So, tell us, that was very edgy, very messy, very mysterious, and very powerful. What was all that about?
Well, the piece is called The Rebirth of Venus, and it, for me, embodies a lot of different things. I mean, you can take it as representing nature, the ocean, or ocean animals, or women, or one woman, or, you know, for some people who are spiritual, it represented like this, the repression or suppression of the goddess. So I kind of merged those issues, not totally purposefully when I was first writing the piece, but you know, originally when I was writing it, it was supposed to be as kind of a statement about all of womanhood, and how you know, throughout the ages, women have been
Oppressed, suppressed,
exploited,
exploited.
oppressed, you know, particularly when it comes to their bodies and their sexuality, their spirituality. So, you know, their access to, you know, resources, education, power. So I wanted to do something that was kind of figurative, but that could still
Show
you
that,
know,
show, because I see that you started off lying down, face down, partially dressed, and then when you got up, you took it off and you danced in a powerful way, and then after the show you put on something and walked off with yourself. So I see that there's a point where you are trying to be vulnerable by taking it off, and I guess others would say, oh, being vulnerable is to lay out yourself, bare your soul, and then also reclaim your power. So is this about vulnerability, about power?
Um, yeah, I would say the piece, I feel like she's more vulnerable before she takes the clothing off, which normally, you're right, it would, if you're taking stuff off, it makes you more vulnerable usually.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of thinking of it as, you know, when she sheds that clothing and shows kind of the, I don't know, goddessy stuff
Right.
underneath. It was a show of power, like that was her costume that she was wearing, and I've heard so many interpretations of this piece from other people, so it's
Right.
like now it's like that like weighs in on my interpretation of it. But you don't know if like
It's very mysterious. That's the beauty about it, and I think that's what will draw the audience. And I think the audience want to be left asking questions, and the questions are all relevant, you know, because if you don't provoke the mind, then the performance has not been satisfied. So I think we have a lot of questions and a lot of thinking and digging. So I would want to say that was a brilliant piece. So what was that dance called, the one you just did?
This dance was called Tangled.
Tangled. How long did that take you to create that?
So we first created this piece maybe about like 6 months ago. It took us about a month. We both come to the piece with different skills. Dan is a martial artist, and I'm a dancer. And I wanted to have a piece that's sort of
Because I actually sensed a lot of passion and aggression, and it was actually very interesting to find that, you know, one is a martial artist and also a dancer at the same time. But now, why Tangled?
I think the idea for the piece was sort of to take the most violent and sort of crazy aspects of love. That, you know, love is not something rational, and it never would be something just simple. You know, if it was really straightforward, if it was really logical, then it wouldn't be love. So we sort of took the passionate and the crazy aspect of it that can, you know, when somebody can be so passionate that it gets violent. And we
Right.
ran with that. We ran with that, and how people get tangled with each other, whether it's good for them, whether it's bad for them, that they're just tangled together.
Right, and then I noticed also in your movements that there was some kind of exotic moves. Can you describe your background, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a lifelong student of classical Indian dance, and that was my initial training when I started dancing as a kid. And that's my passion. And actually, classical Indian dance, all of the dances, or many of the dances, are storytelling dances. So they
Right.
tell the stories of the Hindu gods and goddesses. So part of what I'm interested now in my more contemporary dances is telling modern stories, telling different stories. But
Right.
sometimes some of that background comes out in what I perform.
And the choice of song for that dance, that was very peculiar. Can you tell us a little bit about the song, who did the song, and what the lyrics were all about?
Yeah. So the song is called Infinity. It's by the XX, and I wanted to use it. I wanted to use something contemporary, and as soon as I heard this song, it just really struck me. I would
Right.
say the melody more so than the lyrics, but the lyrics also. The melody is very like melodic at first, and then it has these sudden beats that really are sharp and jarring, and I wanted to capture that in our movement. And the lyrics, a lot of it is saying, "I can't give you up."
Right.
Because I care too much, and I thought that was fitting to what
It
we were
was
doing
very
today.
fitting with the movements and the love aspects you were showing. Sapphire today was actually taking a back seat, you know, operating the lights, which was a brilliant and beautiful job. Well done. But we also know that you've been active, uh, hitting the streets, running, conscientizing, making people aware of certain things. Can you just briefly tell us what this was about yesterday?
Yesterday, we were fortunate enough to be invited to the TEDMed Health Forum at the Gowanus Ballroom. And we were giving a platform basically to promote our theater, but we decided to use that platform to promote lesser known causes and other causes that are very near and dear to our hearts, like domestic violence for women. Like, a lot of our pieces are very political, so sometimes we just dance just for the fun of dancing.
Right.
But a lot of our pieces focus around issues like domestic violence and health care, and we were able to go around to a bunch of different venues and get lots of information about free health care for adolescents and women and people that are HIV positive or homeless or dealing with different issues like addiction in our community.
Right.
So that was something that was very near and dear to our hearts, and we promoted it, and we were able to also give out free condoms to promote, you know, sexual.
I know you gave them out in the typical Kandake way to shock them. What would you do? Tell us. Spill it out.
Well, one idea which was very well received was that we had bunches and bundles of very ripe organic bananas. And we piled them up on the table alongside of condoms, so that immediately gave people an idea.
Condoms, bananas. Wow.
Condoms, bananas, and beautiful women. And we were able to use that to promote our issues and get a message across. And also the dancers Lasha and Olga, while they were on stage, they also used the shock value, and they threw out some condoms to people. So
Okay, and obviously a lot of people stopped by and you distributed the
yeah,
information.
it was really well received. People came, number one, because they were hungry.
Right.
Everyone loves a good banana.
Right.
And they had the thought that we were doing some type of demonstration, so that brought them there. Anything active with examples brings people. And we were able to write our website on the bananas, so it was kind of like killing two birds with
Oh,
one
wow.
stone.
You really worked it.
And they were very heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thank you so much for inviting us here, and I know that definitely a lot of people are going to be asking questions and obviously wanting to see more of what you guys are producing. It's funny because we've never really been invited to a dance studio, in fact, and also meeting dancers doing the art, and I think this is an uplifting and thought-provoking experience because everybody needs to see what you guys do, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.